Hello, it's Dab Life here, and today we're doing TV show reviews, Big Mouth Season 2. Without further ado, let's get into a synopsis of the second season. Spoilers are ahead. Big Mouth Season 2 starts off immediately where Season 1 ended, with Jessie and Jay on the same truck, getting off of it. The two rent a hotel room and end up fighting or something. Anyways, Jessie eventually realizes at a diner that this has been a mistake, and the two go home. The next day at school, everybody notices Gina, the new girl, which she's actually not new. She's been with them since the first grade, but no one noticed her until she developed. In the second episode, Missy's mom overhears Missy talking bad about her body, so she takes Jessie and Missy to a Korean spa. This is probably one of the show's most controversial moments. The Korean spa scene is, I don't really have words for this scene. I'm like, just like a what moment? Like, what? This is one of the only 2 times in the show I've ever got grossed out. But I do love the musical number in this scene. In fact, I Love My Body is my favorite musical number in the whole entire series. Also, I cannot show anything from the scene. Anyways, Nick comes to find that Gina is more than an object and befriends her. Jessie's parents are going through a divorce, so Jessie starts to act up. Connie is such a terrible influence on Jessie this season, and I fucking love it. It's so fun to watch Connie and Jessie do bad things. They're such a good combo. And this episode is the start of Jessie shoplifting, and of course, little piss baby Nick fucks everything up with Gina. Since he has a crush on her, he texts her that they can't be friends unless they're dating. Jessie becomes even more rebellious, steals her mom's money, and shoplifts even more. It is revealed that Connie knows the Shame Wizard, and apparently everybody in the monster world fucking hates him. Because Coach Steve finally had sex, Rick the Hormone Monster can finally fucking retire. Thank God. Actually, no! Take that back! Jessie shoplifts again, but this time she ends up getting caught, and her dad has to pick her up. They proceed to have an argument in the car, where Greg reveals that he still is in love with Shannon, and that he feels terrible for taking her for granted. Episode 6 starts off with Jessie trying to find a CD in her dad's room, which she proceeds to find edibles, and proceeds to steal them. She later peer pressures Nick into eating them, and the two start tripping. Really fucking hilarious. I especially love the finger knees. I don't think I've ever laughed harder than at that moment in the show. Nick eventually ends up at an ice cream parlor, which so happens that Gina is working there. He proceeds to apologize for Gina for being a little piss baby, and the two are friends again. The most saddest moment this season happens when Jessie comes home and her mom instantly knows she's high, and Jessie's dad proceeds to say that he has recently been missing some edibles, and that is the driving force for Shannon to kick him out. And Jessie feels extremely bad about it since she blames herself. Nick gets a new hormone monster called Tyler, but we'll talk more about that little bastard later. The gang are staying the night at school to watch like a meteor shower. A lot of shit goes down, such as slut shaming, betrayal, smooch or share, but it all culminates into everybody feeling shame, and then everybody realizes they can feel the Shame Wizard, so they basically tell him to fuck off. He does fuck off, and then the kids just fucking go bad shit crazy and like destroy the fucking gym. Because of this, Coach Steve gets fired. It is also found out that Tyler was in cahoots with the Shame Wizard and is no longer Rick's hormone monster, and like an idiot leaves the portal to the monster world open. Shannon is driving Jessie to a therapist, and Jessie proceeds to run out of the car like the mad lad she is, and she runs to Nick's house, which she jumps into the portal, and Nick and Andrew have to go save her. Jessie discovers that they're having a meeting. She decides to eavesdrop. She eavesdrops on the conversation and decides that she wants Depression Kitty as her primary monster, but she comes to find that she does not want Depression Kitty, and she has to literally be saved by Maurice, Connie, Nick, and Andrew. And the season ends with Nick getting a new hormone monstress, which is Connie. As the name implies, this is about Planned Parenthood. It's really creative how they deal with a topic such as Planned Parenthood. They just go on a bunch of fun short stories about specific things. Alright, the first segment we go on is a parody of Star Wars and Star Trek and other sci-fi shows called The Vigilantes. And they're going on a mission to do something. I forget what it's called. But I remember they have to fight like evil Bazarians. The segment was alright. Definitely my least favorite of the bunch. The next segment is a parody of The Bachelor entitled Miss Contraception, which involves Leah choosing the right contraception for her because she wants to have sex with her boyfriend. There's a ton of contraceptives they show off, and it's so funny. This is definitely the best segment of the bunch, my personal favorite. Matthew's pretty funny as the host. I really like he's the host. The next segment is Elliot's vasectomy, which, if you couldn't tell, it's Nick's father's getting a vasectomy. And it's funny, he's trying to tell the story of his family, but since he's on painkillers, he keeps saying the year 1955. It's fucking hilarious. The next segment is told through a song, using the song Grooves in the Heart. It tells the story of Andrew's mom having a one-night stand and getting pregnant, and then getting an abortion, where she afterwards gets in a car crash and meets Andrew's father, and ends up conceiving Andrew with him. The last segment, entitled Blue Waffle, is kind of like a horror story about STDs. Very cool. It's about blue waffle, which is a fake disease that does not exist, and the story when people get blue waffle, they turn into like a zombie. This whole episode is very fun to watch. I love how they deal with the topic of Planned Parenthood by just doing a couple skits. I'm going to rank all the segments. There's 5 segments in total. Number 5, The Vigilantes. Number 4, Andrew's mom's abortion. Number 3, Blue Waffle. Number 2, Elliot's vasectomy. Number 1, Miscontraception. Connie the Hormone Monstress. Connie is so good in this season, especially that she was a horrible influence on Jessie. This season, I absolutely love these two as a combo. And at the end of the season, she becomes Nick's hormone monster. That'll be interesting to see in future seasons. Jessie. During the season, a lot happens with Jessie, such as her parents' divorce. She starts to act up because of that. She's going through a lot this season, and obviously depressed. And I like at the end of the season, she accepts that she needs help. Nick this season was actually kind of good. I actually like Nick this season. I wish Nick and Gina were a thing because I like them together. Andrew and Missy. Like in the first season, I don't care for these two. Gina. God, I love Gina. She was such a fresh introduction into this series. I really love her personality. She's one of the greatest Big Mouth characters. She's smart, funny, and I love how much screen time we get. And her home life is very interesting too. I'm very interested in her family members. We really got a lot of character development with her, which was really nice. Shame Wizard. God, I love the Shame Wizard. He's one of my very favorite characters. He's the entire glue of the second season. He is the sole reason why season 2 is a fucking masterpiece. I absolutely love the idea of a shame wizard. Love the idea of a wizard being the representation of shame. It's perfect. I also love his voice. Tyler's the worst fucking character in this series. I despise this bitch. I wish he would legitimately jump off the fucking Brooklyn Bridge. I'll be pissed if he ever comes back into Big Mouth. This season has the least amount of musical numbers of any season so far, with a total of 4, but they're all fucking fantastic. Let's rank them. Sex on a Lady. The lyrics are very cringy. They always cringe me out, but it's a bop. Shame. The Shame Wizard is a great singer. Guytown. Very funky. I love it. I love my body. Very disco-y. And it's, as I stated, my favorite musical number of the series. Overall, this season was absolutely wonderful. Fuck it, I'm gonna say masterpiece. Legitimately. The only bad thing about this season was Tyler. Thank God he was introduced pretty late in this season and didn't get that much screen time. But besides that little bastard, this season was fantastic. 10 out of 10. This was perfect. The next review will be My Furry Valentine. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
You people know a lot about trucks. Ding, 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 bong, bong, ding.